So many of you listening are incredible filmmakers, but if you're stuck in the cycle of always editing with no time to actually work on your business, it can really stunt your growth. Taylor and I see it all the time. A growing backlog, late nights behind the computer, and no space to focus on booking, marketing, or scaling. That's exactly why we're so excited to partner with Wanderlust. Wanderlust offers professional video editing services for filmmakers, including highlight films, feature films, documentary edits, ceremony and speech edits, elopements, and even social media teasers. And the best part is they match your style, so your films still feel like your artistry. Whether you edit in Final Cut, Premiere Pro, or DaVinci Resolve, they deliver a seamless outcome no matter which platform you use. Outsourcing your edits means more time working on your branding, making it to that networking event, and carving out time for education to actually grow your business instead of being buried in footage. Head over to wanderlust-videos.com to learn about their amazing services. And as a listener, you can get $100 off your first project with Wanderlust of $200 or more with the code LEVELUP100. If your backlog is keeping you from working on your business, Wanderlust is your solution.
This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich.
And I'm Kelly Gilster of 618 Studios.
And we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here.
Well, hello, friends, and welcome to episode 3 of our card chat series that we have on the podcast this spring. I'm your host, Taylor Petrinovich. Wow, I haven't said that in a few episodes.
Oh my gosh, we haven't been doing our full-on thing. We're so out of our element right now, just sitting in my car, currently actually waiting to get a little topper of oil. If you've been following along, midway through our road trip, I was told that my oil was at a minimum and we needed 2 quarts as soon as possible. So we're just sitting here outside of a Valvoline in Ventura and we're going to get it done. And we just have to stay in the car. We've never done this before.
I've never had my own oil change before. Yeah, no, not a single time.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Hey, I like your nails.
Thanks.
I went very natural and I was kind of like, did I go too natural? But yours looks really good.
I like it. Thanks. Well, I kind of looked at all my outfits for the week and I was like, I think this will work. And it'll like carry over till Christmas.
Cute. Yeah.
We're divulging when we're recording this. We are recording this. We haven't said this on the podcast yet, even though this is episode 3 of the series, in December as we're driving from Orange County to Santa Barbara for Engage Santa Barbara. Kelly was like, hey, we're going to be in the car for 3 hours. Do we want to just like record some podcasts and like make the most of this time? And I was like, how fun. So that's what we're doing. This is a little bit more of a laid back series, as you can probably tell with the road noise. We are down the street from like some pawn shops and some interesting
We're not in the best area of
things.
town right now, but here we are. We're making it happen, and hopefully we'll be on the road again soon, headed up to Santa Barbara.
Yay. It feels weird to say up to Santa Barbara because from where I live, it's south.
Yeah.
So I'm very geographically confused right now.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I am.
It's actually one of my biggest pet peeves when people misuse the way, like, oh, what time are you heading down to Santa Barbara when it's supposed to be up? Or like, what time are you going up to San Diego when it's supposed to be down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm thinking from Sacramento. A lot of the places that I'll go to would be like over. Be like west.
You're moving like laterally. Like,
yeah. Wow, guys. This is the most unhinged intro to a podcast episode we've ever done.
okay, what do we want to talk about?
Okay, well, last week we talked about why you need to overpay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so the whole point of this series is honestly to kind of like allow you guys on kind of like a look in on Kelly and Mai's like phone conversations is kind of how I see it.
We chat on the phone all the time. Hold on, I'm just pulling into my spot.
We are getting our oil, well, hopefully not changed. We're getting oil added to the car.
Yeah.
And he's motioning to us to drive forward. This is the most interesting episode yet. And you guys listened to us order a Starbucks last week.
Hey, so I don't think I need a change. I just need a topper.
So let me open up the door to scan you.
Yep.
Okay, actually, I'm just going to go. So we talk on the phone all the time, Kelly and myself. I feel like we have some amazing conversations that by the end of the conversation, we're like, dang, we should have recorded that. That would have been an amazing podcast episode.
Right.
And so as like wedding industry creatives, there are some things that can just make our lives and careers a little easier, a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more sustainable, or a little bit more comfy.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about some of our favorite things that we can't live without in the year 2026 as wedding creatives. And the very first one that we were just talking about are these like eye whitening drops. So do you know what they're called?
Lumify.
Lumify. Okay, yes. So I did get the right ones. Kelly introduced these to me about a year ago when we were in Santa Barbara. Wait, no, we were in... Where were we? We were in
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs for Kindred. And if you've been to big networking events like Kindred or Engage, or even some of these like galas, like around the holiday season that like Society Privé throws, things like that, but especially the multi-day ones, you are not getting any sleep.
We slept a combined over 2 nights, 5 hours.
Yeah, because that second night we went to bed at 5 a.m.
And got up by like 7 because we both have pretty like your internal clock is like really early, but mine's on the early side.
I feel like our eyes were like bloodshot because like we just hadn't slept. And Kelly whips out these like eye drops and puts them in her eyes, and every vein disappears and her eyes are so bright white. And I'm like, what is the sorcery?
You're like, you're snatching them. You're like, give me these. No, but you tried, but you're like, oh my gosh, I almost look like a vampire or something. Like I'm like, my eyes are so white.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
We'll have you this year.
Awesome. Thank you.
Kelly is paying for our oil change right now. I'm holding my like mini mic and it feels like I'm in my influencer era in public, and it's slightly embarrassing, but we'll do it for you guys. Anyway, so that's like number 1 on my list. So if you have a double header wedding where you are, shooting on a Friday, Saturday or a Saturday, Sunday and getting home at 1 a.m, dumping files, charging things, and have to be up early again to shoot the next day, and your eyes are looking a little tired, these might be great. Or if you're heading to a networking event, then this is a good one for you to grab and have just
thank you
in your bag too.
He was so nice. Anthony was so nice. That was so easy.
Did we give the husbands too much credit for some of this stuff?
Maybe we do. Look at these strong, independent women getting their oil topped off.
James is texting me pictures of my children.
Aw, this person's gonna be so mad at me for cutting them off. I am so sorry. Okay, we are heading back to the freeway, the 101 north. Okay, so Lumify drops. Yes, you can find them anywhere. They're kind of expensive, like $25 for like this teeny little thing, but you can find them at Costco.
Oh, really? I got mine at Target.
Yeah, Target has them, but Costco sells it in a 2-pack, and it's a great deal, as Costco does. Okay, I'll bring in like a business side of things that I cannot live without. Okay, I actually brought this over from my days of the mainstream market. My clients now don't need this as much, but I always like to come prepared just in case. So I kind of also pack my camera bag similar to how maybe a planner would, but on a very light level. So I always have mints on me. I always have, for the guys listening, like I always have like tampons on me, like just in case like a bridesmaid needs one.
I have given one to a bridesmaid before.
Yeah. So like I'm always just like kind of coming up with things that may just arise where I can take care of this and I don't have to bog down the planning team for something like this. Like I know that they carry all of these amazing things in their bags, but I'm just looking for like easy things to be able to serve the clients really well. And not even just the client, but like to me, like everyone who's like a VIP to a client is like also a client to me.
Yeah.
Because they could potentially be a client, to be honest. And I bring like a few different colors of lip glosses because back in the day when our clients were getting makeup done or they weren't like paying, I just feel like our clients back then, like they relied on us for so much more. So I always had some sort of just like a powder of some kind that was just like very neutral, like a finishing powder that could be like helpful with shine, or like a fresh chapstick. Like I can't tell you how many grooms like end up having like chapped lips, or you can tell that like their lips are hurting like because they're like cracked and they can't really smile, but like a fresh one just to be like, here you go, like hand it over, here you go, you can have this. And they've been so thankful. And I really do think that it was like those small little touches in the beginning of our career that made a lasting impact on being able to build this referral system that worked so well for us from just a client to client level.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else that Paul learned how to tie a bow tie very early on in his career, and that has served really well because not a lot of our clients back in the day had like a bow tie situation, or it was like a pre-tied one, but now a lot of our clients are all having like the traditional bow tie that needs it. And either the groomsman, like there's always a groomsman that doesn't know like how to do it, or even a groom, like they've done it, but it's looking a little bit disheveled. And so Paul brings so much, like, I'm so grateful to like be in business with him on that because he just also enters with such a space of hospitality in like learning all of those things and looking where he can read a room so well, and he knows where he can like step in to be helpful, and then also he's really aware on like when he needs to step out to like give space. So
Yeah.
I kind of went on a tangent, but I like to be able to pack my like Ona bag with additional things like neutrally lip glosses or things like that like my brides back then maybe needed like a quick touch up, or we were off doing portraits way off out of the way on the golf course. So just those things. And again, now I feel like my clients have hair and makeup that are there continually throughout the day doing the touch ups and stuff, but I still hold to like how I got started, and I hold to like some of those things that helped kind of just build the momentum and rapport with those early clients to now, in case it ever needs to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's a really good idea to be fully self-sufficient on a wedding day.
Yes.
Like, never have to ask for a single thing, even a vendor meal, which will bring me to a point that I'm going to make is I always bring food. Every wedding is different, but like,
Actually, you told this to me, and I was like, I never heard of it this way, but it does make so much sense. You were telling me one time we were on the phone, and you're like, I actually think it's so weird that we demand a meal.
it is weird.
She's like, I think our industry is so interesting in the fact that we demand a meal. Now, okay, from a standpoint of, we're working long days, it's long hours, but if you think, and we don't generally get like a standard break for like, you get like a lunch break.
Yeah,
If you're
like a
doing like
scheduled.
a scheduled lunch break, like, we're not going to get that. That's fine. But like, everyone's bringing their own meals. Like no other industry demands that like you provide them with dinner or lunch.
No, I think it's so weird. I mean, it's normalized because it is industry standard, but
Mhm.
like just because something is industry standard doesn't make it normal. So, I mean, nurses do 12-hour shifts all the time, and like there's no free lunch, free dinner for nurses, to my knowledge. Like, you bring your little lunchbox or whatever. And so, I mean, arguments can be made that, like, okay, well, you can't leave, like, you can't go off site to get food. And it's like, yeah, but we're hauling our gear around all day. Like, add a sandwich to your bag. Like, to me, it feels very logistically easy to solve that problem. But so I like to, like, be self sufficient. Like, I like to have, like, basically a full meal. Like, I want to have a chomps and some sort of fruit and like a sandwich and maybe something a little sweet that I might get to on the drive home, like peanut M&Ms or something like that.
Mhm.
But my goal is if I get fed, great. Then I can like eat the stuff on my way home if I'm still hungry. But if I don't get fed, then cool. I can still sneak away for like 2.5 minutes and huddle down in the corner somewhere like a hobbit and like eat my sandwich really fast, like so I don't get like blood sugar like crashes. Um, so I like to do that. I cannot even begin to say how apparently of a hot topic the whole vendor meal thing is. People get so defensive about their like dry chicken and like soggy vegetables and like demanding them, and it's so funny to me.
Like the high horse that we hear in the Facebook groups and whatever. I'm like, you guys, it's not even a good meal. Like you said, like we're fighting over dry chicken and like seasonless vegetables,
Yeah.
boiled cauliflower and carrots.
And like stale rolls that have been out. Well, okay, so I mean, vendor meals in our world for the level of weddings we're doing usually look like a vendor buffet. So there's gonna be a green room and there's gonna be a vendor buffet where they opened it up at 5 p.m. and it's open till 8 p.m. And the band got to it first. So by the time photo video gets to it, it's like a little picked over if they haven't had a chance to replenish it. So we do kind of get the scraps anyway. But my favorite vendor meal is at Martis Camp, which is like a private community up in the Tahoe area. And where they host their receptions there, um, there's like a big open lawn, and you'll see like tent build outs, some al fresco dinners, or some like even like more complex structures. But just down a little pathway is a restaurant. And this is where, like, members of, like, the Martis Camp community, people who own residences there, like, can just go eat anytime they want. And so the vendors just get to, like, place an order for whatever food they want.
I love that.
And so they make some bomb, like, chicken strips. They have great, like, Caesar salad. They have, like, fish tacos. But I love it because I work there semi-often now, and I feel like I'm tasting the whole menu. It's great.
You'll get something different each time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely fell into the early years of being like, this is when we need to have our meal. And I even like had it in my contract of like, well, actually, I never was on the same level of demanding a hot meal.
Is there people that put the word hot as a qualifier?
Yes, that was like a big thing. I don't know if it's still a thing now. If you're listening and your like local market of like photographers and filmmakers like chatter about this, is it part of the chatter that like you have in your contract that you have to have like a hot meal? Because back in the day when I first actually started working at some of these higher end, and I don't know if it was just like my clients were booking these like 5-star resorts, but they were still kind of falling in the lovely market, not the luxury market. So they weren't paying for like actual like vendor meals for us. We were just given like a sandwich in a bag. And so have you ever gotten one of those?
I have, yeah, it's been a really long time, but I have received like a sandwich before, yeah.
Right. So then there's even like more of the fight of like, well, it can't be a sandwich. I will not accept a sandwich. There's like so many, it is wild to me, like the demands, the audacity, as Taylor and I will say.
The audacity.
The audacity of like, it has to be at this time. It has to be warm. It cannot be a sandwich.
Oh, I see a lot of times it has to be when the bride and groom are eating.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that, which totally makes sense. Like I get it, but we're going to be flexible and understand that this is a live event, living, breathing event. And so there's a lot of things that are just outside of our control. And the best thing that you can do is just stand apart and not make a big scene about it. And trust me, I've in the mainstream market worked with plenty of photographers who I sat there while the photographer was on one going to the catering manager saying, I need to eat now because it doesn't make sense. And like they were like dying on this hill that like it needed to happen. And I'll be totally honest with you guys, I don't see any of those photographers anymore.
That is not being an easy button push.
If you're a longtime podcast listener, we love to use the easy button push. And again, like you said, it is not.
That is not. That is actually the opposite. Yeah. So anyway, I like to be self-sufficient. That also means like water. I bring lots of water. I need nothing from nobody.
I need nothing from nobody. Yeah. What do you do about like your seconds? Do you bring snacks for them too? Or do you like advise that they bring a meal, or you just kind of let them live their own lives?
If I'm being totally honest, I let them live their own lives. Like we're all kind of grown-ups, and like,
yeah,
if you know you get cranky because you need some snacks, then like you should probably bring some snacks. Some people do totally fine without eating every 2.5 hours. I'm not one of those people. Actually, when we got in the car, you were like, do we need to go get you something to eat so you don't get cranky?
One thing I've noticed about Taylor is she has some like food, like what would I say? What did you say? You get food like anxiety.
I do.
You want to know like what the plan is for the food.
I do.
Yeah, she gets a little hangry. And which actually, when I was filling up gas before I picked you up, I did grab you a protein bar.
You are so nice.
If you want one.
Thank
These are actually
you.
my favorite protein. I know you're not a big protein bar person.
I do. I'll do the Quest ones every so often.
Have you done the barbell ones?
My mother-in-law loves the barbell one, so I have tried one.
Okay.
Yeah, do you like those ones?
That's what I got you. I love those ones. They have 20 grams of protein in them. I did them a lot while I was like pregnant and like shooting these weddings and stuff, making sure I had enough. Taylor's more of like a purist when it comes to protein. I sent her a TikTok on like, can we just normalize like for protein, like you just snack on a chicken cutlet? And she's like, yeah, I feel seen.
I love it.
But I don't know.
I think maybe, well, I'm not like a big sweet person. Like I am more of a safe, like if I was going to a party and there was like the big spread and there's cookies and pie on one side, or there's like artichoke dip and cheese on the other
Same.
side. I'm going to the artichoke dip side.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got you a cashew and a cookies and cream. Maybe the cashew is not as sweet as you've had before.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
nice.
Whenever you want it, whenever you need it throughout the next 4 days.
I have some chomps in my suitcase,
Oh,
so
great.
I have some for you too.
Love.
Okay, I have another one that this seems silly, but if you're doing destination events, it may be something you want to grab. It's very inexpensive. I have a I don't really know what to call it, but it's like magnetic and it sticks on my laptop screen and it makes it so anyone who's not like directly behind the laptop can't see it. It's like a privacy screen. So no one can see it or like answer emails.
I need that. I wouldn't mind it for editing, although I have been on a plane many times where then the person next to me wants to ask me all these questions about it. And I'm like, I have headphones on. I'm like deep into my work.
You're signaling that you don't want to talk.
I don't want to be rude. The golden retriever energy doesn't always serve me well because I get all the people that want to chat about things. But yeah, but I need that.
Yeah.
You got it off Amazon?
Maybe I'll get you one. It's like $20, $25. So easy. They have them like all different sizes. It just like literally sticks to your screen. And if you're 2 inches off center, so people sitting directly behind you can still see, but people to the side cannot see. And I actually learned about these because I took a girls' trip with my friend who's a therapist and owns like therapy practices. And so privacy, like for her clients is like huge. And so she uses one. And so I got one and I like it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it does darken the screen slightly, so I wouldn't color grade with it. But for other stuff, literally anything else, it's great. Here at the Level Up Co., Kelly and I truly do believe that an elevated client experience from the very first touch point of that first email all the way through the delivery of your wedding films or those final galleries are all so important. And that's why Kelly and I both have been using and loving VidFlow for the last several years, and we recommend to all of our students and our audience members to use VidFlow as well. Delivery experience truly matters. The way your clients view their films for the very first time should be a magical moment. It needs to be a professional and branded experience, instead of basic file sharing like Dropbox or Google Drive, or even Vimeo or YouTube links. Through VidFlow, clients can stream their videos through smart TVs, streaming devices, and setup boxes. Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, you name it. There are so many options for clients to watch and experience their films for the very first time on the big screen at home. And VidFlow is now offering photo delivery as well. They now support photo delivery with their new hybrid galleries, which is a major benefit for hybrid shooters and combined photo and video teams. You can now deliver your beautiful photo galleries alongside your video galleries in one place. Level up your delivery experience for 2026 and beyond with VidFlow. You can get started today by going to vidflow.co/thelevelupco.
Yeah. Also hopping on to the travel thing, air tagging every single one of our bags. I don't know why we didn't do it sooner. And I'm going to shout out Rich Lander with Chard Photo because we had done a wedding together in Aspen and all of his bags were air tagged at the time. And he's like, yeah, I air tag every single bag. And then I just know. And so when we landed, maybe it wasn't Aspen. Where were we? It might have been, no, it was Florida. So, because Aspen, actually, funny enough, that's another story for another time, but our flight was canceled. And so we actually drove back on a road trip, like what we're doing now, drove back with him, John Robert Woods, his second, and then me and Paul. We rented a Suburban and we made it a whole thing.
I remember that, actually. So calling back to 2 episodes ago when we talked about our Level Up origin story, that trip was, you guys literally drove back the day before I flew down to Orange County to shoot the luxury framework.
Yeah, that's
Do you
why
remember?
I think I was wondering why it was that I needed to get back. Because I'm like, I can't wait around for like this plane to figure out when we're going to get back on a plane. Like, and it's like there's snow. Like we shot this wedding in like early April. So like there was still a ton of snow on the ground and all that stuff. So just, weather factors, you just never know. And so that's why we had to get back to film the course.
And I tried to give you so many outs. I was like, we can reschedule, we can cancel. And you're like, no, no, no. And I'm like, okay.
I never want to let anybody down. So like I will go to the ends of the earth to like not have to like make someone work around my schedule.
That's really nice.
That's really nice.
I like that.
Yeah. So that's why we drove home. And we were going to try to do it all in one night. because Paul and I,
That sounds exhausting.
we do that Montana trip every summer. And before kids, we would just drive from Montana 18 and a half hours back to Southern California all in one go. And so Paul's like, I can do it. Like, no big deal. But we hit like a lot of traffic in one of the states. And so we ended up stopping in Vegas all together and then completing the drive the next day.
I haven't done like a ton of road tripping like that, but when I was 19, I moved out to Texas to College Station, Texas A&M land.
Mm-hmm.
Go Aggies. I think it's like Yeah, I don't know.
Hook 'em?
Yeah, something like that. No, that's
someone
another
else.
Texas. That's
Can someone comment and tell us?
University of Texas or whatever.
Please set us straight. We don't know what we're talking about.
I didn't live there long enough to pick up on all their lingo. I was there for 6 months. I worked at a preschool while I was there. Fun fact. But I got in a car accident while I was there, and I hated my job. And I panicked, and I was like, I need to move back home. And this is like 2 months before my dad died, and he flew out to Texas and like drove with me home. I could have technically done it by myself, but apparently I was too scared. I guess.
What a fun trip you guys had.
I know, but we did. We from like, it's not all the way East Texas, but it's definitely on the east side of Texas. And we drove all the way home without stopping, and it's like 29 hours. It was rough. And poor thing, my dad. So I'm short. I'm 5 feet. And I started the trip, like I started the drive, and then we would like swap. And he's, I don't know, he was 5'10", 5'11", so like significantly taller. And my car was so packed with stuff that he could not adjust his like seat. And he never once mentioned it or complained.
Oh,
I know. So sweet. Yeah, great times. Like, I'm so glad we had that time.
that's great.
But anyway, that's my only like real road trip.
Really?
Yeah.
You need more road trips in your life. Your kids are getting to a good age where like you could have a lot of fun on the road trips.
That's true. I mean, we did drive to Disneyland once with like the 2 kids when I was pregnant with my third. And my oldest daughter gets motion sickness, so they can't do any screens on long trips, which makes it kind of hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I digress. Sorry, guys.
No worries. So back to it. When we were with Rich in Florida, we get back, we land. He already knows right away, why is my bag still in Florida? Why is my bag not in California? So then he knew and went right to like the baggage, whatever, concierge. That sounded way more fancy than it actually is at the airport. And was like, hey, I'm going to give you my information to like send my bag back to my house when it arrives in California. And they're like, oh, you don't know, like, we don't know that. Like, I'm not getting anything in my system that your bags aren't here. And he's like, nope, here's my AirTag. It's not here. And so like, instead of like waiting around and like figuring out that news and it taking another 30 minutes, 45 minutes for that whole thing to happen, he was just like, here you go. Here's my address. I'm going to get in my car and take my bags that I do have, like my carry-ons, and then get home because it was late.
That saved a lot of time.
It saved a lot of time.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. And it lets you know, like, if you've left a bag behind. So let's say you're in, like, getting ready room, or you were in a first look location doing portraits elsewhere and you got carried away. You know, weddings move fast sometimes. It'll say, like, you're leaving your small think tank behind.
Oh,
and
okay. It's kind of like when you walk away from your laptop. Like, I get those notifications to my phone all the time where it's like, your MacBook Pro has been left behind.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
yeah,
like that.
It's in my hotel room. It's supposed to be there.
Sometimes
Thanks,
it
phone.
kind of, like, triggers some anxiety, though. You're like, wait, what am I leaving? So, anyways, that's cool.
Yeah. Let's, like, rapid fire some travel stuff. So, like, TSA pre-check.
Absolutely.
Get that.
Yeah.
Can't live without that.
I think I do want to start building up some like status with like a specific airline. I'm just kind of like finding that is like truly the way. And with Paul and I wanting to like venture more into like some destination work, when I'm hearing a lot of these luxury level planners, they're like all with Delta.
I mean, it's a safe space, unlike the general like area, right, of the airport. Free food and drink. I've heard some lounges are better than others, but you get your own private bathroom, I think.
Yeah.
So I think it can like be a really nice if you're going to spend a lot of time in airports, for sure.
Yeah. What else? I mean, I love my think tank bags. Like those will always be like my tried and true like favorite bags. We have 3 of them now. Like the large production case, and then all that. My media badge.
Ooh,
I wouldn't do without that. You need to make one. Well, you don't travel as much with your gear.
Yeah, I've only ever flown with my gear like 4 times ever. Like, it's a lot of just long, like, driving around, but who knows? Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Wow, I
should.
just realized I'm going 90 miles an hour. I need to chill out.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes this car, I love this car. It's so smooth and stuff, but it is very zippy. It's a V8 engine. And so, like, we can get going places. Like, it has, if any car people are saying, it has like launch control or something that you can set up. And I don't know why this BMW X5 has launch control, but it does. So it's a pretty fun car. But you can like be barely touching the accelerator and all of a sudden you look down and you're just cruising at 90 miles an hour.
Well, I mean, you've slowed down to, like, 80, but the flow of traffic is 80.
That's
so,
true.
like, it didn't feel like we were going fast compared to everyone else. Yeah, dang, people in LA go fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get used to it. You get used to the pace of things. Okay, what else? Oh, my favorite, going back to some like, we start off with the Lumify. I have like a tried and true hairspray that I love. The Sebastian hairspray to me is like the best hairspray ever. And I've been using it for 12 years and I would get questions from like photographers all the time on like, how does your hair stay so nice and curled and like perfect, like all throughout the course of a wedding day? And I was like, I think it's this hairspray. So the Sebastian like Plus is the one, and you can find it at Target, CVS, all those places. It's interesting. In California, you're not allowed to ship like aerosol products. So it's very annoying that I can't just have this hairspray on like Amazon
Oh,
Subscribe and Save.
that's interesting.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so you can't like order hairspray
Huh.
or things like that. They won't like ship it through the mail.
That's crazy. I did not know that. Okay, if we're going to talk about like appearances, I have recently been keeping fashion tape with me.
Oh, I packed some for this trip.
Me too. So when I was at Engage Nemacolin in 2024, I had like a certain dress where the top of it just like kept not behaving basically, and I didn't like how it was like sitting on me. And Deanna Harrison from Harrison Films saved the day and gave me like several fashion tape pieces. And so that was great. So if you have, something like clothing item that just doesn't sit right or is not concealing what it needs to be concealing, then fashion tape is really great. But it's another one to have on hand for the bridesmaids or for the bride if they need it.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. Bringing it back to like our little own like mini kits that we create for people.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many times when like we're just taking them by golf cart for our portraits and there's no one around. And, if you can save the day, it's amazing.
It goes a long way. Saving the day goes a long way.
Yay.
Paul has saved the day many a times by just having like a small knife on him.
Oh.
Which he used to get like so many like photographer friends of ours would be like, Paul, why do you have like a knife on you or whatever? But it has been so helpful in the groom's getting ready room when they're like, even like say like their coat, like where they put their, because that's
the stitches.
stitched and then like in the back, like where, cutting the stitching from there. Even just like also guys like if for the guys listening, understanding like the etiquette of these different like suits and tuxes. So like if you have a groomsman that wants to like button both buttons on the thing, not embarrassingly like doing anything, but like if you end up seeing them being like, oh, so it's actually just like the top button.
Yeah. Top button only.
Top button only for that. And then making sure that you're helping them out with that stitching that they may not know needs to be like cut in the back.
Yes. Or even some of the like internal like breast pockets can come stitched too.
Yeah.
And so, being able to like free them from that is always great. This is like oldie but a goodie, but I do keep a roll of gaff tape with me.
Oh, yes.
You never know, even when you just need to throw a little X of gaff tape on the floor so that somebody knows where to stand for toasts so that they're in the light. There have been times where my lights, like I've had to lean on my lights a lot and it just makes more sense to plug them in. So like I have an extension cord and like you guys always need to be taping cords down to the floor. That's a crazy tripping hazard. Even if it's not in the way, like you just never know when someone might try to like sneak around. Something where you have like plugged in.
And sandbagging
Yes.
your light stand.
Always sandbag.
Yeah, always. I mean, I don't see as many photographers now doing like off-camera flash on like
Right.
with a light stand anymore, but like I was always shocked at how many photographers were not sandbagging their stuff. Like there's a lot of alcohol flowing, people are like loose and free and like
Or
tripping
kids
over.
running around.
Kids running around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gaff tape. You never know who you're going to save the day with the gaff tape. I remember actually a specific wedding where the florist really needed tape, and she came to us being like, do you have any like tape in mind? And so we gave her this big roll of gaff tape that we have, which gaff tape is not cheap, you guys.
No, it's like
For tape.
$30 for a roll.
And so we were a little bit sad because I think she ended up accidentally leaving with it. And so we're like, okay, well.
And you can't just get it at like Target. Like I bought mine at Guitar Center.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, that's another one. And then you brought up something that I was like, it sprung an idea in me. You talked about fashion tape. We talked about a knife. We talked about, gosh, oh, you know what it is? Appearance-wise, when you were talking about that whole thing, Paul and I get all of our stuff dry cleaned and like pressed beforehand. If it's not and I just told Taylor about this, which I really enjoyed your voice memo that you sent to me, but whenever, even if it's a dress or a jumpsuit or whatever that can be, washed through my regular thing, Paul's always sending in his suits to get dry cleaned. And so there's always something in the mix. And so I'm like, hey, can you send this in to get it pressed? Like it goes a long way to like look wrinkle free and like more polished and put together. And so I was telling Taylor that before this conference that we're driving to right now, I had sent in a bunch of my clothes just to get pressed. They were brand new clothes, like, but it's not always.
They don't come wrinkle free.
They don't come wrinkle free. And she's like, wait, where do I go for that? What do I do? I was like, just your like,
Did you bring a steamer?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I gave Kelly a steamer because she didn't own one. So I was really hoping you brought it. Okay, good.
Yeah, I do need to steam my gala dress. That's the only one that I didn't. I was getting that one altered. And so that's the only one, which also will bring me to alterations. So especially for my guys, I feel like I can tell.
Is someone honking at you? I think you should get over.
I don't know.
We're in the fast lane and flow of traffic has slowed down a lot, but I think someone's not liking that you're not going 100 miles an hour in the fast lane.
This guy wants to move, apparently, which we're not even moving that far.
We got honked at because we were in the fast lane. That's crazy.
This is LA, guys. I love how he honked at me and he's literally just like sitting like, we'll end up passing him in like a second too.
He's 20 feet ahead of us now, also stuck in the traffic that we were just behind.
Whatever.
People are silly when they are driving.
Easy button push. We'll move over, make way, let him live his life. Let them.
Just let them.
Yep.
Mel Robbins.
Yep. Okay, so I notice a big difference and I think that this just like kind of moves, I don't know if adjacently is the correct term, but if you think about like in the mainstream market, all these guys are just like renting their suits and they're always really like not great and the pants are too long and they're not like tailored well and all that stuff. So, I noticed that too in photographers and filmmakers in more the mainstream space is not utilizing the power of a well-tailored outfit, a well-tailored suit. And so we really advise a well-tailored suit. No, we advise a suit, but taking it the step further is like, you really do need to get it tailored to you.
I mean, I would say the same for the ladies out there. Like
Yeah.
if you're wearing pants and they are puddled on the ground because you're a little shorter than the pants were intended for, get them hemmed. Like it's so easy. Like it costs like $15.
And it makes a big difference.
It looks so much better.
Yeah.
I actually have some jeans that I need to get hemmed. Like it sounds so silly.
It's funny, like once you recognize like how much better and confident you feel when you start to utilize tailoring, it's almost like everything needs to be tailored now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, going the extra mile.
Yeah.
Going the extra mile. Okay, a few other things. My walking pad has saved my back, which sounds so silly, but I have like a motorized desk, like one that goes up and down, and a walking pad. And especially for if I'm going to be working on my laptop for hours and hours and hours, like no chair or couch can support my back for that long. And it actually makes me feel a lot better if I have the ability to move around a little bit or at least stand up. So I feel like if you're looking at it from like a longevity perspective, it's nice to have that option. I learned early on that if there's something that you need to be doing often in your business, but there's like a sticking point that's making you avoid it. And for me, it would be like back pain. It's easier to just solve the problem so that you can more easily gravitate towards that task.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got a walking pad because you got a walking pad.
Yay! Such a trendsetter over here.
I know, but you have more of a dedicated office space than I do.
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
kind of floating around room to room all the time. Paul has like decided our office / guest room / Levi's room is his space. And then I'm just kind of floating around. So I keep the walking pad under my daughter's bed, like but then it's just too out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. But you have a great kitchen island for it. I know that's where you've used it.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I was like big on it, but then I would kind of be more amped to like leave it out like more and more. But my kids want to play on it. And now with the 18-month-old, or yeah, he's almost 2, he is the kind of a handful with that.
Yeah, I could see that being kind of a problem. I mean, my kids, they're not actually allowed in my office.
That's nice.
But they can see the walking pad set up and they ask to do it all the time. But I always am mean and I tell them no because my in-laws, they go over there once a week at least. And they have a treadmill and an elliptical. And they've spent plenty of time walking on a treadmill to like fulfill their little kid hearts of like wanting to do that. So I don't feel bad.
That's so funny. There's nothing more fun than being a kid and like messing around on like the gym gear.
Oh, totally. Oh my gosh. I have vivid memories so I went to the gym with my parents on Sundays at the gym my family went to, I guess. Like Sundays were kid days. And so they had an indoor pool at the gym. And so we would go swimming almost every Sunday at the gym. But like before that or after sometimes we would like walk around the gym floor a little bit. And they had like a rock climbing wall where it was like one of those where like it's short but motorized. So it's like a never ending rock wall. And I remember doing that. Good memories.
Good memories. Well, nothing else really comes top of mind to me right now. Anything else to you?
I'm trying to think like through. So like I feel like we covered wedding day pretty well. Just like little things that you can have on hand, things to make travel easier for events like this that we're going to right now. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything for Engage specifically that we
Like packed? You're like thinking through your
packed.
suitcase right now?
Yeah. I mean, I used Rent the Runway for like handbags and a couple pairs of earrings.
Me too.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
Except, you know what? It's Sunday today. I scheduled them to arrive on Friday, and they didn't get here till yesterday. I got them, and it's no big deal.
Actually, mine too.
But what if my event was on the day I asked for them to get there?
So, okay, this is also, I learned. So, learn from me, listeners. So, I tried to do the same thing. Actually, no, I had a dress also from Rent the Runway that I was going to use for Kindred, like a while back, a little over a year ago. And I opted, which Kindred's a little bit shorter of a conference than the conference that we're going to now. So, I opted for the 4-day, like, window of rental. You can do a 4-day or an 8-day rental.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't come in time. So, like, I was, like, out, like, all those pieces that I invested in. I think the bag arrived, like, 30 minutes after we had to leave.
Oh, my.
It was so annoying. And so, but I didn't know, like, when it was going to come that day. So I'm like, all right, let's just move on. But I opted for the 8-day, and then I made sure that it arrived, like, 2 days in advance. And actually, it only came yesterday. So I was getting a little bit nervous.
I was nervous, too. Yeah. It was crazy. But, yeah, so I guess if you're going to use Rent the Runway or something similar, err on the side of caution. Yeah, I always do the 8-day, so it's not due back until whatever day, like next weekend. But it's kind of crazy if it's not like you're just like renting it for funsies to use in your everyday life. It's for like an actual event. Like you'd think they'd want to make sure they're satisfying their customers.
For sure.
Ooh, one thing, you guys are gonna roll your eyes. One thing I've updated. So I am not techie, and I think there's a lot of not super techie people.
Yeah, I'm not techie.
I didn't know, this is so stupid. I didn't know that different hard drives like function at different speeds. And so as a videographer who shoots on Canon, my file sizes are huge, as yours are too, Kelly. We shoot on the same camera system.
Yeah.
And so it's often that like I'm shooting between 1 and 2.5 terabytes for like a multi-day event. That's very common. And so I would always just get like the 8 terabyte hard drives, which are actually meant for long-term storage, but I would edit from them. And I would get so frustrated when Final Cut, I use Final Cut, Kelly's on Premiere, but I would get so frustrated when it would like lag and like take a long time to like load or even like change where my like cursor is like through, I don't know, scrubbing through the video, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And my world was changed when I learned to get like a SSD one, like the really fast, tiny ones. It sped up my editing workflow and has removed me wanting to like throw my laptop at the wall many a time.
I don't even think I knew what you were talking about. Paul probably knows, so he probably like, did some research and set it up that way, but I have no idea.
Yeah, so for the first 7 years of shooting weddings, I was editing from the slowest hard drives on the face of the earth. And now I've upgraded and I feel so free.
Feel brand new.
Brand new. I also like to just like throw money at things to make my life a little easier now. So like every time I exceed my like cloud storage limits, I just like tack on the extra like monthly fee instead of like going through and deleting stuff.
Eventually you'll be paying like $100 in storage.
Oh, for sure. Actually, one of my cards, like the expiration date just passed. And so I got a new card and I haven't updated like my payments for everything. And now I'm actually seeing all the things that I've been paying for.
Oh,
it's a little eye-opening.
That's actually a good exercise to like stay diligent about that. The subscription game is insane. So making sure that you're like up to date on what you're actually still paying for. Like even like random apps, like with our kids and stuff, if they want to like do a trial, it's like a 7-day trial period on a new like game of some kind.
Get kicked over to the paying one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Anyways, that's funny.
For valet, if you're shooting at hotels a lot, like always keeping some $5 in your pocket, in your wallet. And then it is etiquette to pay for your second shooter's valet fee as well.
Yeah.
I don't like my second shooters to come out of pocket for anything. No possible. So that's a fun little tip. But I think we're going to wrap this one up. We took some twists and turns, metaphorically and literally.
We really did. All right. We'll see you guys then next week as we continue our car chat series.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.